Let's record this. Okay, so my name is Joy Light. I'm a 38-year-old mother of two amazing, super adventurous, keep me on my toes little boys. And my health journey started 15 years ago when I went from 100% fast food, beer, and cigarette diet to 100% raw vegan overnight. And that was a drastic shift to my reality. And I spent a solid 10 years making a lot of mistakes and a lot of successes and learning a lot in my journey through there. For the last almost 6 years, I've been a mom, and my superfood, superhero, super nutrition journey kind of got all funneled into how am I making it through every day, taking care of these beautiful boys and taking care of myself. And for a long time, I failed and I wasn't taking care of myself. And lo and behold, I found Purium Superfoods about 2.5 months ago. And my health and my life has already transformed monumentally. And I was in a bad shape, and I'm getting healthier every day. And so I invited people to come onto this call, and I invited great minds like Jody to come onto this call and share some information with us. Jody in our community, I've heard her referred to as Dr. Jody, even though she's not really a doctor. She is so wise and has studied so much and has put her information into action in her own family's life and helped hundreds, if not thousands, of other families along the way. And so I'm going to pass the crystal wand over to Jody Parker over here, very successful brand partner and mother and entrepreneur. And let her share with you a little bit about her family's health journey and how she found her way here. Thank you, Jody.
Oh, of course, Joy. Thank you. And thank you for pulling it together after we had a difficult technical start. I know that's not easy. And I know that it's like, when it's your first time. So good job pulling it together. I'll let you manage the participants coming in, and I'll go ahead and talk. And of course, now that I've started talking, my youngest daughter, my 7-year-old, just came up. So she'll hang out with me while I do this because, as Joy mentioned, I am a mother first and foremost. She is my youngest of 3 children. I have a teenager, a tween, and an elementary school student. And I have homeschooled them their entire life. I've always been a homeschooling mom. And I came to this journey through the way that many come to this journey because I was forced to. My oldest, who is currently 16, as an infant at 5 months old, was in the early stages of liver failure. And his pediatrician not only didn't help, he hurt, and it was dangerous. And thank God I knew enough to know that we should be treating causes rather than symptoms. And I hunted. There was no Facebook. There was no groups like this at the time. I called everybody I knew and asked, do you know anybody who could help me? And thankfully, I found somebody who could help me who was in the holistic health field. And we figured out how to heal my son. And he is a fine, thriving 16-year-old now. But we learned through that journey that we had to eat really pure and live very, very clean, because as a family, we don't detox appropriately. Our bodies can't deal with synthetics. We can't deal with artificial flavorings and colorings and the MSGs and the corn syrups and the fragrance and the, all this stuff that's in our environment. Our bodies just can't process it out. And so that is how I came to this journey. So I started eating organic way back in 2001, and I didn't find Purium until 2015. And by that time, I had been helping people learn to eat healthy it'd been about 6 years by that point. And I went, you mean I can do this and get paid for it? So that's how I got here. So where do you want me to go from here, Joy? Tell me what you would love for me to share.
That's an amazing, amazing share. The first time I heard your story about how you pulled your son back from liver failure, it brought me to tears, and it really moved me. And that was one of the big reasons I invited you to be on this call, because it's very relatable. A lot of people have dealt with some serious health issues in their life, and we're told from our doctors what to do. And oftentimes that is detrimental because they're not taking the whole person into account. They're not taking our lifestyle and our diet into account. And that's one of the things that I feel like you're going to be wonderful to express to people is what we are facing, the the disaster of food quality that we have available to us here in the United States, what has happened to it over the last, let's say, 50 years, and the opportunity to find ways to actually get genuine nutrition into our body that our body can absorb and do something with. And so I just want to pass the baton back to you and see what you have to share on that.
Sure, of course. You know, when you come upon this and you fall into this, for lack of a better term, rabbit hole about what's happening with our food supply, it's overwhelming and it's shocking, because you think, oh, they wouldn't really do this to us. They are doing this to us. So how did we get here? Way back in 1980, they started adding corn syrup into Coca-Cola. And that is where it really began, because when the corn syrup started and then it started making its way into all of our other foods, corn syrup, because of the way it's processed, has mercury contamination. Hello, the most toxic substance known to man next to uranium. And now it's going in all of our foods. And then we hit the mid 90s when genetically modified foods were going to change the world, because we wouldn't have to pull all the weeds and we'd be able to get better yields. And there was this big thing around it in the mid 1990s. And exactly the opposite happened. They're using so much pesticide and herbicide, the main one of which is commonly known as Roundup, but the active ingredient that is called glyphosate. And it is sprayed on all our fields. It is in the air. It is in the water. It is in the soil. It is in babies' umbilical cords. It is in 93% of people who have been tested in their bloodstream. And you're like, oh, it's a little bit. It's no big deal. That's what they tell you. Right? It's no big deal. This is good for you, until you learn what it's actually doing to the body. And there really is no other way to say it than to say it's poison, and it's horrifying. So let me back that up and explain that a little, because it helps to know the history and why is this destroying us. Well, initially, glyphosate, its very first patent, was as a descaler for large industrial machinery. So what that means is, like Lime Away, when you want to clean your pipes out, well, glyphosate was used to clean the pipes of large industrial machinery to keep them from getting clogged, because it's an amazing mineral chelator. What does that mean for us and our health? Well, if it's on the soil, it binds the minerals. If it's in the plant, it binds the minerals. If it's in your body, it binds the minerals. What do you need for proper nerve conduction in your body? Minerals. So you can see right there how that's really not a good plan. But then you keep moving on and you see it was the second patent used on it was as an herbicide. So it is designed to kill life. It kills plants. How does it do that? It affects what we call the Shikimati pathway in a plant. And humans don't have that pathway. So initially they thought it was safe. But what does have that pathway is the good bacteria in our intestines. And lots of people have heard about how important it is to take your probiotics. And we're starting to learn about how the gut is the second brain, and how key gut health is to immune function and brain function and sleep and health and on and on. And so now we're destroying our gut. Well, then it gets worse, because the third patent on glyphosate is as an antibiotic. And we all know that antibiotics have their place, but taking them every day is probably not a good idea. However, glyphosate is on at least minimum 75% of our food supply. And it's probably more than that. I'm being careful with that number. And so if you're eating little bits of it every day, 3 meals a day, you're going to completely wipe out the good bacteria in your gut. When that gets wiped out, the bad pathogens in your gut can take over. The microvilli in your intestines, they shrivel up and they separate. So they're supposed to look like grass, like really nice little, tight, like a beautiful green lawn. They should be like that. But when they start to die, they separate and they fade, and you get microscopic holes in between them. And that is what we commonly know as leaky gut. And what happens is whole proteins that are never supposed to be in our bloodstream are now seeping into the body, and the immune system is designed to attack whole proteins. That's what it's supposed to do. And now all of a sudden we have a dairy epidemic, and gluten intolerance everywhere you look. And it really goes back to this chemical that is being sprayed on our food and destroying our gut and making our body, it's opening up a closed system, and it's causing all kinds of chronic health conditions. The root of all chronic health conditions, inflammation. And this is causing massive inflammation in the body. And the longer it goes, the more chronic conditions we see. So that gives you sort of a brief overview of how did we get here. And that's not even talking about artificial colors and artificial flavors, which are excitatory neurotoxins. So if you've got kids with ADHD, you might just have kids that are allergic to red dye number 5. And it's not looking at the trans fat and all the other chemicals that we're putting in our food that are allowed to be in our food when they're really food-like products. There's no nutrition, there's no value to them, but they're cheap and they are shelf stable. And that is why we have such an amazing solution, because we are shelf stable and nutrient dense and healthy, right? So where do you want me to take it from here as we move forward?
Yeah, exactly. I'm wanting you to take it right there. What's the solution? So I've spent, like I said, 15 years deeply involved in the health movement. I worked side by side with some of the greatest educators in health and nutrition, and I understood leaky gut. I understood the dangers of glyphosate, but I had no idea it was possible to detox this from my body. And I also didn't know that was a huge source of the struggle I was having in my digestion. I developed leaky gut as an adult, and I grew up on Cheerios and way worse. And so I'm wanting you to share with us, what can we do about that? What can we do as people who care about ourselves, about our family, and about our body? What can we do to detox and become resilient? Because what is it? 60% of our immune system is in our gut. And we're in a time of a pandemic where our immune system is crucial. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Jody. What can we do? What is there for us to improve on this?
There's so much amazingness. There's so much amazingness. And this is my favorite part, because, we can look at the doom and gloom and it's so scary and everything's falling apart. Or we can go, hey, look, humans are cool and we're smart and we come up with solutions. And that is exactly what our founder did. And I know he's currently on another Facebook Live, but he's going to show up a little bit later in this call. And he found a way to be the solution to this entire food issue, to the food deserts and the fact that we're ruining our soil and all of those things. He saw 25 years ago that we needed to go back to the old ways of farming and take care of our soil and make sure the minerals stay in it and that we're not using chemicals to grow the food. And he literally was one of the founders of the organic movement and getting organic certification. And so that's where this story starts, right? You need deep nutrition. Why? Why is nutrition so important? Why is it so foundational? Well, because every single thing that happens in your body is what we call a biochemical reaction. You need certain nutrients, certain minerals and vitamins and fats and amino acids, which are what makes up protein, in order for your body to do all of its functions. And so for your body to optimally function, you have to have all the things it needs to do to run all those biochemical reactions. And you need to have it in a balanced way. So you can take vitamins, but vitamins are not balanced. You have to have potassium and sodium 3-2 and calcium and magnesium 2-1 in your body. But if you take 3,000 milligrams of magnesium but don't take any calcium, you've just completely thrown your body out of balance. But food is already in balance. And so that's the magic of having your nutrition or your foundation being nutrition. And then what do you do about the poison that has been sprayed on the food? Because if you're eating all the good food, but you have leaky gut, you're not absorbing it. And so that doesn't do you a lot of good. You can eat organic food all day. And I'm going to say that really, really loudly: buy organic. It's not perfect. People are going to say it's contaminated too, and there's problems with that. Well, sure. Nothing is perfect. We don't live in a perfect world. It's the best we have. And for sure, to get organic food, you have to jump through so many hoops. Like, you can't even change the label on your organic product without getting certification from the organic certifiers. Like, they check your building, they check the soil, they check all your processes, they come and do surprise visits to see what you're doing. It is the best that we have currently in this now. So you get your deep nutrition, and I'll go a little bit more into that deep nutrition in a minute, but you asked me, how do we get out the poison? How do we heal that gut? Well, there's a really cool ingredient called fulvic acid and one called humic acid. And in the soil, those acids help plants absorb the nutrition. It gets them past the cell wall. It acts as a bridge. So it's not nutrition in and of itself, but it acts as like a bridge for the nutrition to get absorbed, or to kick the stuff out of the plant or the body that we don't need. And so we have this amazing product called Biome Medic, your microbiome, and it's the medic. It's going to come save your gut microbiome. And so it has that fulvic and that humic acid in it to act as a bridge to help get the glyphosate out of your cells. It has a prebiotic in it, because how do we grow probiotics? We got to feed them. So it has a prebiotic in it. It has a probiotic in it. This particular probiotic is in spore form. And so it's shelf stable, but once you swallow it, think about when you blow on the dandelion and it goes flying everywhere. That's kind of what this does. It gets into your gut, and as you digest it, it populates the gut, and it helps to rebalance all of those probiotics that have died. But then finally, the fourth and final thing that is in it is something that is patented, that is only Purium has. We're the only people on the market who have this particular ingredient. It's called PrebioSure. It is a derivative of wheat germ oil, and it was found, like, I want to say 30 or 40 years ago. It's been some time since it was discovered, but they didn't realize what the use was for it until they started feeding pigs GMO feed, and they were getting sick, and they added this PrebioSure into their food, and they got better. Well, what this does is it helps to heal the gut. It helps to protect those microvilli so they can regrow, so they can fix themselves, so that you stop that leaky gut that's happening. And so all of these things in concert, you will find other products on the market that claim to detox glyphosate. And I say claim because I haven't done the research, but what I know for sure is that in 6 weeks of taking our product, your glyphosate levels will go down 74%. In 6 weeks of taking our product, that inflammation I mentioned that is at the root cause of all chronic health conditions will go down by 75%. Can I just tell you, I didn't know I had inflammation until it went away. I just, I'm getting close to 50. I'm 47 years old. Like, that's aches and pains, right? No, it was inflammation I didn't know I had. 75%. But what's really cool about this is, as it gets rid of those toxins and as it gets rid of that inflammation, it is simultaneously helping you to heal those leaky gut issues. Gut permeability went down 35% in those 6 weeks. And so people go through all these diets and all this, the bone broths and the ketos and the AIPs and all these different diets in order to get their gut to heal. And you can take a couple capsules a day and get those same results with this product. It is life altering. And it's such a big deal because it's so endemic in our food supply right now. We have a solution, and that's what we need right now, are the solutions.
Absolutely. That's a phenomenal share. I relate with that in so much because, like I said, for so many years in my health journey, doing all the right things and all the right cleanses, I did 22 gallbladder liver flushes. I juice feasted for 3 months. I did raw foods for years. I did all the things, but I had more inflammation than before. And it wasn't until I had done a lot. It wasn't until I integrated the Biomedic the core four, the ultimate lifestyle transformation, some of these key products from Purium that I saw drastic results. So, I mean, within days, I went from in pain, couldn't eat anything to I'm restored. I have life moving through my body and I have energy to keep up with the demands of life. And so not only is it a solution that brings me to tears because I'm experiencing firsthand and I'm watching in friends and family firsthand what this has done. And Jody, if you can share with us a little bit about the ultimate lifestyle transformation and someone who is ready to start their health journey, start their transformation journey, but has never really done anything like this before. I come with lots of experience. It was really easy for me to get in the mindset and to make the shifts. But for somebody who's just stepping into this world, can you give a brief overview of the ultimate lifestyle transformation and what's possible when you really commit to 30 days, 100%, and go for it?
Yes, I can totally speak to that. So, you're saying you have experience, right? You'd already been eating organic, doing all that. I had been too. I'd been organic for 15 years before I found Purium. And you see this ultimate lifestyle transformation. You're like, it's some powders and some pills. Like, what is that going to do? I've been eating organic for 15 years. Yeah, my ego was too big for that. There's magic in that kit, absolute magic. And here's why. Because even if you're eating organic, our soils have been so stripped of their nutrition that it's really super hard to get that deep nutrition in a way that you can absorb it. And you need all those good probiotics, you need all those enzymes, you need all those things in your body in order to really get that absorption. And what the 30-day transformation does is it introduces you to this lifestyle in such a way that it makes it really, really easy. And who doesn't love easy? Like, you throw a 3 down in the chat here if you like easy. We all like easy. Like, I know I'm a really busy mom, and you would think, oh gosh, you're doing a cleanse, it's so hard. No, it made my life easier. It bought me time. Who doesn't need more time? Because it's so easy. So let me give you kind of an overview of what this does and how it does it. So you get 30 days of superfood. There are 4 main products in this superfood cleanse. You're going to drink a green drink every day. And people go, ugh, are you going to make me? Yes, we're going to make you. But it's too bad the 7-year-old just walked away, because there's nothing like a 7-year-old little girl to tell you how good this green drink tastes. It's apple berry flavored. We put it on popcorn. Like, you can't make this up. It's really, really yummy. And all you do, you can add it to water or coconut water or, whatever. You don't want to put it in milk, but I put it in water, but you can pick what you're going to put it in. You mix it in your shaker bottle. You drink it 3 times a day. And you're getting the antioxidant value of 5 superfood salads per shake. So what does that do? It, like, your cells are all happy and they're like bathing in all this nutrition. We call it full cellular satisfaction. So if you can imagine your little cells in your body and they're cheering and they're all happy because they have what they need to function correctly. And now you're optimizing your energy and you're optimizing what your body can do and how it can get into balance. Then you're getting another, I go on and on about this product, Super Amino 23. It is free amino acids, which sounds like, so what? Okay, let me tell you, so what? 99% net nitrogen utilization. What does that mean? It means that your body uses all of it. It means it's pre-digested, so it puts zero, say that again, zero stress on your liver or kidneys. So as you're cleansing, a lot of stress can go on your liver and kidneys because they're trying to get all the yuck out of your body. But the super amino is a full source of protein. It puts on muscle anabolically, which means without exercise. Hello, who doesn't love that? And it puts no stress on your liver or kidneys. And so it allows your body to work on all those detox processes without having meat sitting in your gut. It takes 24 hours sometimes to digest meat. And then it puts all this ammonia out that you have to detox. But with this, you don't have to do any of that. So your liver and kidneys get a break from having to do that deep digestion so they can do their job of detoxing you. And then it comes with a biomedic, which we've already talked all about how cool that is. So now your inflammation is going away, which means that your aches and pains are going away. You're starting to absorb those 5 superfood salads. Okay, let me be clear. It's antioxidant value, because what they've done in that power shake is they've juiced it all and then they have dehydrated it with pressure, not heat. So it still maintains all its good enzymes. None of the proteins have been denatured. It's still live food when you add it into water, which again, that's a miracle. And you didn't have to juice it all yourself, and you don't have all these leftovers of all the stuff that comes from juicing. And then the final amazing product, Apothecary. We call it Apothecary instead of apothecary, fun play on words, because it's like the master fruit. It's just Montmorency cherry concentrate. That's it. That's all that's in it. It is higher in melatonin, natural melatonin, than any other fruit on the planet. And so what does that mean? It's going to help you sleep, but it's not like you're taking a melatonin supplement and it's synthetic and your body doesn't know what to do with it. It's food. Body knows how to process it and where to get it to, and it will give you that restful sleep that you need when your body's repairing itself. Sleep is so, so important. And now you've taken the biomedic, your inflammation is going down. Well, tart cherry is also incredibly anti-inflammatory. And so that on top of what you're already doing is taking your pain away even more, which is going to help your sleep even more. It is in antioxidant value, the equivalent of eating 7 to 10 pieces of fruit. It's a minimum of 5,000 ORAC per serving. You know, my daughter, the 7-year-old you saw here, my kid, all of us, we all drink the tart cherry juice every month. They think they're getting, or every night, and they think they're getting a treat. And my kids are sleeping and they're healthy and their skin is glowing. And you see all these amazing results as you're doing this, and you're doing it on a schedule, and they give you the schedule, one of 3 schedules, you can pick it. And they give you a list of, here's your other superfoods that you can be eating. We call them flex foods, but you're given a list. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to do anything. You go, oh, go eat your avocado, eat your raspberries and your blueberries, have some celery. And it tells you exactly what to do, when to do it, when the schedule is, so you don't have to think about it. And it makes it super, super easy. And in the process, you're going to have better sleep. Your skin is going to be glowing. You will either have weight loss or fat loss, depending on if you needed to lose weight. Some people don't need to lose weight, but we can always stand to have more muscle and less fat, right? It's going to bring down your inflammation. It is going to bring down your pain levels. It is going to increase your energy, and it's going to improve your digestion. And you may not need all of those things I just listed, but I can't say that I know a single person on the planet who doesn't need at least one of those things. And then you get to celebrate that you loved yourself through 30 days. And by the time you get through that 30 days, you've now changed your lifestyle. You've ended your old habits. You've created a new habit. And people are like, so what do I do? Am I like, what do I do when I'm done? Well, you don't go back to the way you were, because you won't want to. Your taste buds have changed. The pH in your body has balanced. And so things like green food that tastes yucky when your pH is really acidic, it tastes good now. You start to crave it, and your body starts to crave what it needs. And so you can really get in tune with your body and know, this is what I need. And now you're improving your emotional state of being, because you know that you're being good to yourself and you know what you need, and you listen to your body. And if you're craving something, you know you're craving something healthy for you versus, you know, those French fries that you know are terrible for you because they don't taste good anymore, because you don't want it. I remember the first time I was done with mine, we went to a organic, gluten-free vegan bakery. Right? Like, that sounds good, doesn't it? And I got an apple donut, and I took one bite of that donut and I couldn't eat it anymore. It was so sweet. There was so much sugar in it that I felt like my blood was congealing. Like, I could feel myself acidifying, and I went, I don't want that anymore. So I found new treats. but I found treats that I can feel really good about and that are supporting my health. So I think I've celebrated that enough. I know that there are other people that really deserve a chance to talk over what I've shared. But any final thoughts you'd like me to share, or shall we pass the stick?
Jody, I just want to say thank you so much. I could listen to you share all day, and I think we'll have to do more of these Zooms together because you bring such a wealth of expertise and information. And we do have some other people who are on tight schedules, so I just want to pass it on to them. But I'm so grateful. I hope a lot of people drop us a 4 in the chat if you got a lot of information there from Jody Parker. Thank you. Okay, I'm super excited. Some of you may know, maybe some of you don't. This is my very first Zoom call with Purium, and I am honored and feel so blessed to ask Dave Sandoval to hop on here. Dave, do I need to unmute you? Nope, you should be on. Dave Sandoval is the founder, co-founder, and formulator of Purium, and he has been in this industry and this wellness journey for longer than I have been alive. And so I am simply going to invite him to pop on here and say hello to us. Make sure you're there, Dave. Are you there?
Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you. Dave, if I could open up with a question for you, because I know
there might be a little.
Hello? Can't hear you, Dave. You want to try maybe without the video?
I said there might be a little. I said there might be a little bit of a delay.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to offer you a question and hope you can hear us and give us a good response. I've been watching the current affairs of the world for a long time and paying close attention these days. And I want to ask you, in your experience and working with farmers, working with organic food, working with the industry of nutrition for as long as you have, do you see a coming food shortage? And how can we best prepare ourselves and our families for that shortage if it's coming?
Well, thank you for that question. And you put a thumbs up to make sure you could hear me. The truth of the matter is that there's been a food shortage in this country for my entire lifetime. And it's only gotten worse. And what I'm afraid of is that when people realize just how severe the real food shortage is, and I don't mean the real food shortage, I mean the real food shortage, okay, then it will actually surprise you. Now, if I were to tell you that only 1% of food sold on the shelves and in America today is considered real food by the standard of purity, meaning it doesn't contain artificial colors that could cause cancer, artificial sweeteners that could cause cancer, trans fats that could cause cancer, agricultural chemicals like glyphosate that cause cancer, and I could go on and on and on. And you cannot find a food, okay, less than 1% of the food in America meets a standard of not having any of those things. So in my world, only 1% of the food is real food. So there is a real food shortage. Now, the good news is also the bad news. The good news is that most people have not yet woken up to that reality, and our access to that food is abundant when you are part of Purium. But most people live in a food desert where they live without access to a consistent supply of high quality pure food. And so, a long answer to a short question, the pure food crisis, the quality food crisis, the real food crisis has been around for quite some time. And it's only going to get worse.
I hear you on that. I hear that loud and clear. I had a conversation with Dave a little earlier today and realized that we both grew up in the same area. He went to high school about 10 minutes from where I went to high school in Los Angeles. And one of the things I look at in my life in retrospect was I grew up in Torrance, California, near the beach. It was a beautiful Southern California area, but it was also right next to the ExxonMobil refinery. There were lots of crops being sprayed not far from us. There was nuclear meltdowns not far from us with nuclear reactors. We were exposed to a lot of toxicity just by being in that area, let alone what we get from Los Angeles and commuter travel and whatnot. So learning about food, how to detox ourselves from these chemicals that were in my environment growing up, but also now that I have been nourishing myself for so long, how to sustain my family in these coming times. I get the food shortage actually happened 100 years ago. When you said that to me today, the lights went on and it was like, wow. And so in that sense, detoxing our bodies and nourishing ourselves and really adopting a purium lifestyle, a pure and premium lifestyle for ourselves, what other steps would you suggest people take to be food sovereign, to be in their optimal health?
Well, I've learned a lot. I studied world religions. I wanted to find out what everybody thought. And one of the things I took away from my Mormon brothers and sisters of the Latter-day Saints was their real focus on a 2-year food storage. But what I found was their ability to store quality food, the type of food that would keep them nourished and alive, was pretty rare. And most of the food storage was filled with preservatives and additives and all types of stuff that the regular food on the shelves was. And so one thing I'm very proud of is that the shelf life of most Purium products is an average of 2 years, okay? An average of 2 years for fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, high quality vegan protein, the most nourishing superfoods on the planet in their purest form. And you don't have to worry about whether they're gonna rot in your drawer or on your shelf, or whether your refrigerator goes out and you can't keep them fresh anymore. And so one of the most beautiful things about Purium is we don't only provide daily access to the highest quality, pure food, organic food on the planet, we also offer food security in the form of keeping 3, 4, 6 jars of our fruits, of our vegetables, of our proteins, stashed away for that, unfortunate, but so oftentimes, reality, whether it's a hurricane, an earthquake, whether it's a social insurrection, a riot, or whatever that keeps you having access, you've got to be prepared. And Purium not only prepares your cells on the daily, it also prepares your family for whatever is coming.
Boom. Mic drop right there. It's so true. I feel 100% more secure and stable in my existence as a mother with children in a city, having my supply of Purium and knowing where our nutrients are going to come, and knowing that I can throw them in a backpack and carry them on my back for miles and miles if I needed to. And so for me personally, that brings a lot of reassurance and comfort. I have one other topic. I'd love for you to just drop a quick bit. We gotta pass the baton here in just a minute. And it's a similar question to what I asked Jody. We were talking about the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And I'm wondering if you could give us a few quick gems on what happens if somebody takes that commitment and they commit 100% to their health and a transformation through the ultimate lifestyle transformation, what that can do for them in their life when you make a commitment for your well-being. What becomes possible? What have you seen?
Well, it's a body, mind, and spirit ascension, okay? The first thing is when you start to take care of your body, it's a form of self-love. And the very act of loving yourself, okay, that alone is healing. Even if you never took the Purium, but you made a decision to, and you really wanted to, and you intended to, that act alone is starting to heal your body. Now, when you start to put these high vibrational foods in your body, then that also is going to help you balance something called hormones. And when you take Biomedic, it's going to release a hormone called serotonin from your gut lining, and also increase what are called stem cells, which of course increase longevity, the repair of your body, and all of those things, youthfulness. And so when you're happy and your body is becoming younger, it's hard not to be in a really good mental state. Now, when your emotions are balanced and you're having balanced reactions to stress in your life, because stress is inevitable, our reactions are what are variable. And when we have balanced reactions to stress in our life, it is typically because we have balanced hormones in our body. Now, when we're handling things in life better, then our spirituality is so much more pure. Now, if you chose your spirituality out of guilt or out of remorse or out of culture or out of whatever it might be, fear, it's not as powerful as when you step into your spirituality from a place of wellness and clear-headedness and happiness and security. And that's what this food does for you. It wraps its arm around you. It kisses you on the cheek. It tells you everything's going to be okay, and you believe it.
Yes, 100% to that. I can attest to that entirely. 2 months ago, stress was killing me. It was eating me up, literally, and I was withering away. And I made a few very subtle personal shifts, and one of those was to include Purium every day. And suddenly, I can handle the stresses of life with grace and ease. And I came up with this idea. I was talking to my father this morning, and I was like, Dad, I woke up this morning and I had the opportunity to be so stressed. I have so much going on, but with these tools, I'm so blessed. Like, I'm not stressed. It's not happening. And so I know on a cellular level, on a hormonal level, on a spiritual level, on a psychological level, it's transforming me. And I'm forever grateful for you to have brought this to the market for us, and to brought it in a way that's not only a superfoods and nutrition that we can go to the store and buy. No, we can't do that. We get to support our community. We get to support people in our life that can bring this to us. And the way that you built Purium and the way that you built your distribution is next level. It's really, you saw the whole picture. Purium, for those of you who don't know, is also going plastic free by 2021. That is next year. We will be plastic free somehow, some way, with a lot of work. This is a company that loves the earth and loves the inhabitants of the earth, the sentient beings, and has committed itself to caring for us. And that is true wealth. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to let you.
Well, thank you. And I'm due on another call. And
yeah,
I got to jump to another call right now, but it's been such a pleasure and an honor to be with you. And for everybody who took a minute to join us, I really feel that as a blessing. And hopefully we could meet in person one day.
We will. Thank you so much, Dave. What a blessing to have you hop on here. Wow. All right. Give me a 5 in the chat if you are having a good time, if you are learning some great things, if you're happy to be here today. I am. I'm glad it all worked out. I want to bring on our next guest, who is, I am so honored and pleased that he's here on my first call, Ian Farrar, who is the founding brand partner with Purium. He is a very successful network marketing entrepreneur. He's been featured in a new book. I'm actually going to ask him to speak to that a little bit. But Ian, are you in here? Do I need to unmute you? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm here, Joy.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You are on the East Coast and it's pretty late there, so we really appreciate this. Ian, being the founding brand partner, in some ways you recruited Purium to be your business as a network marketing entrepreneur. And that's a really special story. I listened to it a few days ago on a podcast, and it was pretty exciting. But what I'm hoping that you can share with our community here is a bit of information on, you know, your background with network marketing. You've been in it for a while, but why it is so unique and so special to be getting on with Purium at this time, specifically Purium, specifically with the health and superfoods that they're offering at this time, and why it's just a really special time for us to be here.
Well, Joy, thank you very much for the opportunity to tell you a little bit about me and my story. It's half my life. It's 25 years of pursuing this endeavor and this beautiful business. You know, I know you recently listened to the Richard Blissbrook interview with me, a hero call, and it's true. I recruited my own company. I actually sought out the right people with the right products, with the right mission to create a product line, to give all of us this opportunity. And I pinch myself every day because it's been 17 years. You know, I'm the founding brand partner. I have the lowest ID number of anybody. I've been using the products longer than anybody, with the exception of the guy who just was talking, who formulated them. I don't think he really knows what he's doing, but he formulated a really great line of products. I'm kidding. Yeah, Dave's pretty awesome. But, you know, I got to give Amy credit too. Amy was the person that actually planted the idea in her mind, because I was actually at a natural products expo in Baltimore. I was representing a company called Vibrant Health, the makers of Green Vibrance. And guess who actually put the formula together for Green Vibrance? Well, a gentleman formulated the product, but Dave provided the raw materials for the product. So I knew I was in a really great place. I really wanted to represent their products. And I planted the idea. And this is what I said. I said, Amy, if you took these products network marketing, I would take it to the moon. Well, with all the sales volume that I've done over the past 17 years, if you added up all those numbers, it's actually to the moon and back a few times. Okay. 25 years ago, I was a full-time athlete and I didn't want to go work a regular job. I just wanted to ride my bike in Central Park. And, you know, I was living in New York City at the time. I just wanted to ride my bike, train, go to the races on the weekend, and make an income. And I stumbled into network marketing at an event. And I kind of said, you know, is it one of those pyramid things? Or was it like Amway? And the gentleman said, it actually is like Amway, but it's a different type of product and structure. And I enrolled with my first company. That was, you know, a long time ago. And I was like, wow, I could actually make money with being enthusiastic and helping people over and over and over and over and over and over again. And he said, yeah, you can. So in that first 6 months of that company, I became the rookie of the year in that company, only to move on and yearn for a company like Purium, which I didn't have. And that was really difficult for me because I'm all about superfoods and organic and clean, and that wasn't available. I mean, there were companies that were around, kind of got close, kind of but really, really didn't meet my criteria, and I knew the right people to talk to. So 25 years into my career, I've been blessed with the opportunity to be a part of a book called The 4-Year Career, the 12th edition of one of 10 networkers nationally or maybe internationally that have been selected to be in this book to create a big picture perspective on the potential that's here and now for people that think long-term in this business. I just can't stress it enough. I see great people come into this business, 30, 60, 90 days, they go consultant, director, executive, they hit diamond, then they disappear. Don't be one of those people. Okay, be the exception to really be with this business long-term. Jody Parker's been in this business long-term. Kimberly Sanders has been in this business long-term. I've been in this business for a long time. And it's people that really keep on keeping on, even when it gets tough, even when things aren't really moving. You're only one person away from, you know, your breakout. So I threw a lot of information in there, Joy, but I just really want to give people a big picture perspective on the fact that, you know, I've been in love with this industry for half my life. Okay, I got a plaque today with my 4-year career, my 2-page spread, and I had an emotional moment because it's like I arrived, because most people don't know that when I couldn't afford to buy the books, I hung out in bookstores and I read all the books. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Wave 3, Wave 4, Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. and actually Richard Blissbrook's first book called Mach 3 with Your Hair on Fire. And now I'm in one of his books. So think about that. Okay. You can be whatever you want to be. Okay. You become what you think about on a daily basis. Just don't think negative things, think positive things, and positive outcomes happen. So for me, you know, you see, I'm a 4-star crown with Purium, but you know, it was a 25-year process. I'm not saying it's going to take you 25 years to get to higher levels in the Purium program, because guess what? Purium today is so much better than when I got started. Even when Jody or Kimberly joined, you know, the company has so far advanced. So people that are joining Purium today are going to make a lot more money than me in the first 30, 60, 90 days. Because the program is much different. So the time is now. The new economy started back in February, March when this thing hit. Okay, a lot of people are out of work, and we could get people into a business from 179 up to 330, 450 with our Optimal Immune Pack, which actually is my favorite pack, by the way. Most people don't talk about it. You know, we're very ULT centric, which is great. We just launched the fitness pack as an enrollment pack, which is fantastic. I've been using those products for years, and I'm happy that that's an enrollment path. But the Optimal Immune Pack is a beautiful pack, and it's only like $16, $17 more than the ULT. So, Joy, I'm going to give the microphone back to you, and I'll answer your next question.
Ian, thank you so much. I'm going to make it quick because I know that you have another call, a very important call to get on to. One thing that I've noticed just in my couple of months here with Purium, my few months here with Purium, is what they give you everything you need to succeed at this business. And what you need to succeed at the business is consistency and keep showing up. And the only way for me as a single mom of 2 little boys that I can consistently show up for my family and for my business and myself is if I'm taking exceptional care and I'm meeting all of my needs. And one of those biggest needs is nutritional needs. And so Purium is unique that they give you everything you need to have a thriving body and mind, to excel at your craft and your body, and take that fuel and share it with other. And in the act of sharing it with other, you can grow in your business. If you can give a quick overview, because we haven't really spoke much about the business, how do people get on board with Purium? How, other than calling the person that put them on this call, what's it like? What's it like to say yes to something like this?
You know, I don't have that much experience enrolling people. You know, I don't really enroll. I'm kidding. Haha. I've actually enrolled over 1,000 people in network marketing. I've enrolled, hundreds and hundreds of people in Purium. And, the onboarding process is really important. The onboarding process today has never been more streamlined compared to even when a Jody referenced Kimberly, has been with the company for more than 5 years, or in and around 5 years for Kimberly. And I know it's over 5 years for Jody. But now it's a very seamless onboarding program. And, this is a business of duplication. I'm not super duplicatable given my story. Okay. Some people are like, oh my God, I can't do what he does. And I don't want to be duplicatable, but I really want to be the voice of a big picture perspective of someone that's been in this business for half their life. Okay. And it's like the train going up the mountain. I could have, I know I can, 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 I know I can. And you know what? I've arrived. Okay. And everyone can arrive in this business. You're only one person away from finding yourself. That's what we really want. We want to find someone that sees what we see, if not greater than us. So the magic golden nugget here is recruit, even it up. Don't recruit down, because if you recruit down, you're going to build an adult daycare center, and that's not fun. Okay. You're raising 2 kids. I know Jody has kids. We don't want to have a daycare with other people that are not our immediate family. So find people for this to be the right thing for them to be doing. That's it. I hear so much, oh God, this person could be so great. First of all, they have to see themselves being great, and they got to show up all day and every day. And it's not your job to be like, did you do this? Did you do that? You want accountable adults that you're working with, not, putting diapers on people. I can't stress this enough. So when it comes to enrollment process, we have a really great one. And guess what? When someone processes their credit card, that's the easiest part of this business. Wow, I got a launch pack. Guess what? Launch pack cost anywhere between $179 and $334.50. Okay? It's the easiest money you'll spend. That's when the real work starts. Okay, sweat equity. You put the sweat equity in, and really wonderful things come back over time. Okay, there are people that I'm still getting commissions on after almost 20 years. Okay, you want to see something? You want to see something? Check this out. Okay, my first company 25 years ago. I'm not active in this company. I got a check today for $26. Okay, and it's funny. I'm driving home from the beach yesterday with my wife and my sister-in-law and her kids, and in my visors, the letter from that company from 1996, being the rookie of the year, and I get a check the next day of this company. Okay, I'm not active. It's a water filter company. It's a great company, but I haven't sold a unit in years, but I got a check. So this business works when you work it consistently with passion. Okay, there are frustrating times you're going to deal with. Jody's dealt with them. Kimberly's dealt with them. I've dealt with them. But guess what? When you enroll someone new, the grass could be greener, not all dull and like, oh my God, why isn't this person getting it? Okay, it's not your job to be someone's therapist. It's your job to help facilitate health and help their people facilitate health over and over and over again. So you build a machine of wellness. I'm not discounting people. I'm not saying you can't be a friend. You can't be supportive. There's a big difference between therapy and support. Okay, so I'm throwing in a lot of information. This is what happens with me. I'm throwing in like all of this stuff. This has been a really spectacular milestone day for me because I've been in contact with, Richard Blissbrook, wrote me this really nice card, and I'm like, we're preparing for this bigger webinar for the 4-year career. Get all of your people on this call that want to basically retire their husband, retire themselves in a 1 to 4 year time. Because the book is a 4-year career, but I know people in network marketing that have done it much sooner, in 1 to 2 years. Okay. So, but everyone has a different trajectory. I was the first crown in the company because I was the first person to enroll. It took me, from when they turned things really on, about 2 years, to get to crown, in terms of where I was, in terms of my foundational volume. And, it was pretty awesome to achieve that. And now we have multiple crowns in the company. And there's a lot of people that are going to be coming up, especially you guys, that I'm really going to look forward in supporting, on the way to the crown, because there's a lot of room at the top in this company. There's limitless amounts of people that need our immune products, need our superfoods. I mean, I know Jody, Kimberly, we order a lot of stuff. I mean, my requirement at 4-star crown is 200 BV. I mean, I do like 600, 700, 800. I know Jody does a lot more than me. And it's just like a crazy superfood bonanza. And like, they're like my friends when I get them. Like, oh, I missed you so much. The box, I open it up and it's just like, I love my products. And, I could go on and on. I mean, I'm a Purium person for life. I mean, you probably see me with my cycling kit on and, always be promoting. I've gotten gift cards redeemed when I'm out there riding with people. It's just the story of my life, just walking, talking, hustling. If someone says that they don't have time, they need this business more than ever. Okay. That's a super, super golden nugget point right there.
That is so true. That's me in a nutshell. I would have told you all my excuses 2 weeks ago to why I can't make this Zoom call happen, because excuses are the easiest thing to find. They're everywhere.
It's called excuse-itis. It's a bad form of inflammation. Never get it.
Never get it. Never get it. So I got over it. I did the call anyway, no matter what. You're such an inspiration, and I'd love to connect, do more calls with you in the future. I know that you have to get ready for another call that's about to start.
It's at 9:30, so I have more time.
Okay, cool. I just want to share a quick story then that I think that you'll really appreciate, and it'll lead us into the next. But what you're talking about with network marketing and what's possible when you show up and you do the work. Kimberly Sanders, she's my upline. She's who I called when I was sick and I needed help and I needed superfoods, and none of my knowledge was being put into action because I was sick and I couldn't think clearly. She helped me get my superfoods, got them to my house. But the day that I decided to call her, I'm going to rewind. I met Kimberly 12 years ago, and I met her at a T. Harv Eker seminar in Aspen, Colorado. And we met right after we both listened to Bob Proctor speak. And we were both brought to tears and moved profoundly by what he shared. That's how I connected with this woman. Now, fast forward to a couple of months ago when I'm deciding to get my superfoods, and I'm not going to do the business. I just want to get healthy and I need some superfoods for my kids. My other best friend who's on this call tonight sent me a video randomly, and it was a Bob Proctor video. And he's going into how our imagination is basically our most godlike ability, cultivate your imagination. And what he says in the end of that video is if he could start again, if he was starting in business again for the first time, he would 100% get into network marketing. It is the way to accelerate in your financial goals, to think and literally grow rich right now and do it. And it's not a get rich quick scheme. And I've dabbled in a couple of network marketing companies that were all about nutrition and all about organic and health and wellness, but it wasn't there. I didn't feel it in my body. The integrity wasn't there. They were really new, lots of different things. And so even though I was certain I was not going to do the business, I get the Bob Proctor video and I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing the business. Let's figure this out. And so I get on with Kimberly, and the amount of support that this company offers, just let's examine the fact that this is my very first Zoom call and I have the heads of the company here to support me and to share their wisdom. I mean, that is special. I've worked with a lot of people in a lot of companies and I've never been supported in this way. And so the timing, I mean, we are in a world, it's pandemic time. People have lost their jobs. People are worried about their health. People are at home, working from home and homeschooling their children. They've never done that before. There is more reason now than ever to be healthy and financially sovereign. And it takes us, a community of people coming together, thriving, succeeding, and sharing it with others to really bring that forth as a possibility. And so I really honor you and celebrate you, and you're rocking. You're a gold medal athlete. You're fit, you're healthy, and you're successful. And anyone who doesn't want some more of that in their life might not be paying attention, might need to do a transformation and see how well you can actually feel and what is possible through your commitment to your health and your wealth, because true wealth will only come if we have true health, and vice versa, I believe. And so if there's anything else you'd like to add, I just want to pass it on to you one more time.
Yeah, and Joy, listen, thank you for doing such an amazing job. Your first Zoom. I mean, you definitely have what it takes. It's just, you got to just commit long-term, and you got to clone yourself a few times. Okay. Take some time to clone yourself, but do whatever it takes and commit to this business long-term. I can't stress that enough. And, just be who you are and just help. There's no shortage of people that don't need help in this environment. Okay. We're in a very, very steep down cycle in the economy, but network marketing thrives in a down economy and a good economy. So you have to ask yourself, how do you want to participate in the economy? If you hear someone bitching and moaning about they lost their job, this, that, and the other, you know what? I have an amazing opportunity that you could get in for $179 or, $330, $450. I met with a kid today, 19 years old, hustler, and he's coming on board Monday. His parents are cutting him off. He's actually not from this country. He's from Colombia, but he's going to a very expensive school and he needs to hustle. And I go, well, listen, you got the gift of gab. This is it. I can't guarantee you anything, but I was a little older than you when I first got started, and where there's a will is a way. and Purium will ship the product. Purium will pay you. Purium provides a website. Think about it, okay? We don't have to do all the heavy lifting. Amy and Dave do. I'm very, very blessed that they do. They've matured beautifully in the business of network marketing because they just were manufacturers. And I'm like, Dave, you need someone to come in. There was a gentleman who was with the company. He's no longer with the company, but he really helped Purium get to the next level. And now we're really moving and grooving. And for all of you that are new, you got to be on the Tuesday night Leslie's On Call because the power of pace. She's Jewish. She's a hustler. I'm not getting religious, but I happen to be Jewish, and I consider myself a hustler from New York. And there's just something about that I really dig, you know, to really go out there and help people. I mean, the opportunity's there. You just got to knock on enough doors, okay? No doesn't mean no. No means not now. Boom.
Fantastic. Do you know offhand, maybe if you don't, Jody does, but I'm guessing you do, Ian, how much Purium has grown this year? This has been one of their largest growth years as a business. I know that for sure.
I think Kimberly says, I think we've grown like 3 times. Yeah, it's like we've tripled the volume.
Tripled the volume.
You know, like that song in the 80s, you know, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. I don't know if you know that track, you know, exactly. It was a really good track in the clubs in the 80s. I'm dating myself. I'm going to be 52 years old in December. And you know what? I'm not playing. Okay. People are like, oh my God, you look so young. I go, you know what? I'm becoming ageless because I put the right things in my body on a daily basis. Okay. Bottom line is that we can be whatever we want to be. You just got to think it. And you know what? I don't like working for other people. I haven't worked for anybody else in 25 years. Okay. So opportunities for the taking, and don't think, oh, he's so busy. I mean, Kimberly, how long does it take me to text you back? Right? Not long. Okay. I mean, anyone who texts me, okay, I get back to you and I'm here to support you. And, you know, this is my dream, but it's all of your dream too. I'm just a little further ahead than you guys, but let's go.
Let's go. I'm all for it. Thank you so much for taking the time to hop on here. I'm going to just leave it there. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you, Ian. Wow, what a lineup. That was really exciting. If you hopped on here for the health bit, that's amazing. If you hopped on here for the wealth bit, that was amazing. No matter what, I hope you're getting something that you needed in this call. We have just about 10 more minutes. And so I want to invite on Kimberly Sanders, who is my upline. And let's see, you're unmuted. The story I shared, I met Kimberly 12 years ago at a T. Harv Eker event in Aspen, Colorado. It was a beautiful setting in the summer. And I was true as form back then, slinging superfoods, but with a different company and different people. And she's just such a bright light. She came and fed my whole crew of people from her amazing salad that she had prepared. We cried over our love and respect for Bob Proctor and how much it moved us. And then the day I'm going to get my superfoods from her, 12 years later, I get this message with a Bob Proctor video telling me to join network marketing. That's basically how it went down. And so I'd love to invite Kimberly on here. And for a lot of people, the task of saying yes to your health and your wellness, your financial wellness, your physical wellness, your emotional, spiritual wellness, it's a new thing. In our culture, I don't feel like we are really taught how to love ourselves and how to be gentle with ourselves and how to love others through their process. And Kimberly is a magical love being, and her wisdom, I feel, will be really pertinent. If this is something that you are looking at for the first time, you are struggling with health issues, you're wanting to lose that, what did I hear it called? The COVID-20, quarantine 20 or something like that, people gaining a bunch of weight while they've been home in this new environment. If you're ready to step into what is possible in your health and your wellness, it's an adventure and it's a journey, and it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And so, Kimberly, if you'd come on here and just share a little bit about the importance of really being honoring and gentle of ourselves and saying yes and going for it.
Well, sweet Joy, first I want to honor and celebrate you because wow, to have this be your first Zoom, it's like I'm at your altar. Thank you so much for just knowing exactly how to flow so beautifully. And I'm just so honored that there's many people to us. And I really do believe that I tune into my higher self and to my angels and my guides, and to just really say, please bring me the people and please allow me to be of service. And I know that I had to be that for myself in order to be able to attract amazing people like yourself and so many of the beautiful friends that are on this call. There's so many. And every day I get to work with people that, you know, are looking to be supported in their own right, like that we get to be sovereign of our own bodies. And it's not always easy to choose the next highest vibration soothing method. A lot of times I share with people, we've been on soothing, like we've been having soothing methods since we were babies. It started with a pacifier, and then it was a bottle, and then maybe it was a cookie, and then it was a toy, and then it was TV, and then it was cigarettes, and then it was sex and drugs and all these things, which is totally fine. All of them, no judgment on any of it. And what would it take for us to love ourselves to the point where we are going to be choosing the next highest vibration soothing method so that we get to wake up and be so in love with our choices, and then so in love with our body and so in love with our heart and be connected in alignment. And there's just so much goodness to be able to just be in a space of alignment and be proud of ourselves. And that's where Purium comes in so easily, where every single day it's been 5 years, but solid 3 years that I've been with every single, like Jody talked about the ultimate nutrition so well. What we do in the ultimate nutrition, my whole life is an ultimate nutrition work. Like every single day I get to have all my superfoods all day long, and then I have my organic meal at night. I swim every day. And so I am a product of the product, and I'm living in congruence with what I share with people. And so it just makes it seamless on every single level. And the more that we take care of ourselves, and the more that we can be in sovereignty with ourselves, and the more that we can bring in people that either are looking for that and, you know, just need a little bit of inspiration to know, like, oh, I see you doing this. I just had someone actually reach out to me who I've reached out to over and over on Facebook. And he's like, your consistency on your posts have been, I think I'm almost ready to start taking care of myself. And that's the thing, is if we can get these superfoods into us every single day consistently and just dedicate to our goodness and our self-love and our self-care. And I have to say, in this time, I just keep checking in, like, am I really this good? Am I really this okay in this time? Like, everyone talking about all this trauma and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's not there. It's not in my life, because I am so protected. I am so dedicated, and anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So it's easy, and Purium allows that seamless plug every single day. We do need to work with our addictions, and we do need to work with our soothing methods, but it's worth it. And the outcome is beyond the moon, and more so than anything I could even understand, because I can go through a whole pandemic and I'm not even have a breakdown of a day ever. So it works. It works.
It absolutely works. And you're a shining example of it. You embody the Purium lifestyle more than anyone I personally know. And it's really inspiring. And I've done superfoods for years and years and years and never had the results on a deep level. It's not just physical. What Purium has offered me is a way out of a low vibration. It's helped me to find community and to have purpose every day and work to do beyond just take care of my kids, because that's what I was doing. I was taking care of kids every day, and there's always more to do, and you're never done. And so having Purium now, as far as I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is take care of myself now. The first thing I do is I have my water and my aminos and my biomedic and my super xanthan, and then I have my green drink. And no matter what happens for the rest of the day, I've already loved myself. I have already taken care of myself. I have already told my body that you are important and you matter before everybody else, even before your kids. And so you really embody that. And I know that you have helped countless people find superfoods, find health, find their first good bowel movement in 10 years. I mean, this is the work that we get to do. And it's amazing. I called Kimberly crying about a healthy bowel movement the other day. I mean, this is our health and our wellness, and it does something to my heart to know how many people are struggling unnecessarily right now. A lot of people are suffering when they don't need to. A lot of people are worried about how they're going to feed their families and what they're going to feed their families. And what we're offering here is a solution to that. We are at 6:30 my time, and I said we were going to end around this time, but I want to take a minute to thank everyone that hopped on this call, everyone that was patient with us as we got our technical difficulties work out. Jody Parker, you are an angel. Kimberly Sanders, Dave Sandoval, Ian, all of you, thank you so much for hopping on here. If anybody invited you onto this call, somebody did. If you're interested and you want to know more about what you heard here tonight, please reach out to the person who invited you to this call. They care about you and they will help you through this process. We will be doing more calls like this. This was a good little groundbreaker for me. And I do want to open it up. If there is anybody on our call who has a Purium success story, maybe for a quick minute or two, we could just do a popcorn style sharing of what Purium has done for you. I don't know if anyone's still hanging around that might want to do that, but I'll leave it open for a moment. And other than that, I'm just super honored and grateful that you all came on here with me. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Enjoy. You did it so awesome. Thank you, Jody. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, just thanks for hanging out. Carmela, Paula, Mary. So good.
All right. Well, we love you all. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We'll do more of these calls, and they'll just, I don't know how you can get better than this lineup. This was a pretty good lineup, but if you liked what you saw, come back for more and we'll do more of this. So thank you all.
Good night. Don't forget to hit the stop record.